Hi guys. Okay. So when I had my brain scan, it went well. It was only like an hour long, and it was really nice. But well, not nice, but it was MRI. It's to be expected. But the dye they gave me just wiped me out really hard. But anyway, none of this is relevant. I don't want to say what needs to be said, and so I have had in my past um many, quite a few actually, very beautiful people who thought that they were transgendered. Um, I met them at university, and one was born Jason and was trying to become Christine, and he was a wonderful person, but he was deeply, deeply troubled, and his root cause, excuse me, um, his root cause was that he hated who he was. And I saw his self-hatred because we literally would have lunch together like every day. And I even bought him a designer dress that I knew he would love. So I wasn't unsupportive by any means. I was loving, I was caring, I was affectionate to him, and but we talked a lot about self-acceptance and self-love, and um, he was adopted. I'm not saying that that had anything to do with it, but he felt that he was unloved by his biological parents. Therefore, he could not love himself for who he was, and he was sharing with me that his adopted mother was just utterly torn to pieces because he was trying to become a woman, and so he had a this is hard to talk about. He was so tortured. He was so sad. Um, he wasn't sad not because he wasn't a woman. He was sad because he couldn't see the beauty of who he was as a man. He couldn't accept and love himself for who he was because he felt unloved by the ones around him. And I think that when he would dress as Christine, he felt a higher form of acceptance from other people and looking and seeking for validation outside of himself to feel that connection, to feel that love, that affection. And I don't know if it's like this with all trans people, but it has been for I think most of the ones that I've really met. Um, so and reading that thing about I think it's Elon's son who is now trying to become a woman brought back those memories of Jason slash Christine, and mm, that's hard. I can't imagine as a parent going through that, but I can tell you that I would love my child regardless of what they chose in their life, and I would also, um, I think I would mourn almost a death if one of my sons decided he wanted to be a woman. I don't think that will ever happen because I'm very protective of my children, and I do not expose them to the gender identity crisis that public school and media and everything exposes them to. We've been very careful in that regard. because young minds are moldable minds, and now they're teaching that not to have stranger danger in schools, and I found that utterly alarming when my eldest was very young, and we were looking into what type of schooling we should do. I think this whole transgender thing is a way to get people to hate themselves and not to love who they are. And I think that is really one of the biggest abominations you can do to your own soul, is to hate who you are. I think loving who you are, accepting who you are, and realizing that there is so much good that is as you are is so much more important. So, well, that's my rant, and I'm probably going to get a whole lot of hate over this, but it comes from a place of love, everyone, and I hope that everyone learns how to love too. Really, truly. Love yourself. Love who you are and how you were made. Because you were so very beautifully made. Stop trying to change who you are to fit personas and perceptions that have been placed on you in very weird ways. And I think they started doing that a long time ago. My godfather told me about subliminal messaging that they were doing back in the 50s and 60s, and they did a lot of it. I think they're still doing it today, actually, but it's one of the reasons why I don't do a lot of TVs and movies and things, and I'm very careful about advertisements. And even I've noticed, even in the stores, when they have labels on things, oof, they're on there too. But nobody talks about that anymore. I wish they did, but they don't. Maybe that's part of what's going on too. I'm not sure the whole big picture of it, but I do know the root cause is self-hate. And I do know the root cause is that people need to love more and love themselves for who they are. Sorry, he's being a bit of a cuddle bug because I'm not feeling so well, but that's okay. Y'all take care. Peace and love. Oh, and the thing in the back of my hand, that's probably noticed. That's where they put the dye for the. I have a contrast MRI so they could see the blood in my brain. Y'all take care. Peace and love.